Welcome to Cloud Realities. We are back for season 5. I'm Dave Chapman.
I'm Esmee van der Giessen.
And I'm not ready.
Welcome to Cloud Realities, an original podcast from Capgemini, and we are back for season 5.
Huzzah.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
I'm Dave Chapman.
I'm Esmee van der Giessen.
And I'm Rob Kernahan.
And with us on mic, we have our special guest today, Marcel van der Berg. How are you doing, Marcel van der Berg?
Really well.
How was your summer?
Just returned. It was amazing. Not to Bonaire.
I mean,
So I left my
You're
island.
buying another island.
Yeah.
People are crying now. So
how are the government there doing with the underfunding that's been caused by this?
Bankrupt.
Department for Education's collapsed.
Yeah. No, we went in sort of a tour through Europe with a car and a dog.
And how many? I actually know this answer because we had dinner the other night. But how many miles did you do?
5,000.
I mean, it's a decent.
What? Sorry. What?
Yeah, so
5,000
7 countries, 3 weeks, just cruising around.
I mean, he only meant to go to 2. He got lost and had to go through another 5.
Yeah. Why am I keep driving around these mountains?
But it's not miles, it's kilometers.
Oh, you see, that's what the Europeans, they do. They always make it try and look bigger. And you're like, miles.
Okay.
Rob's here, everyone.
Hello.
How are you doing, Rob?
I'm all right, not too bad.
Did you have a good time?
Over the summer, it was good. We had a good summer holiday. Exams went well.
Yeah.
Second generation nerd off to university. Very proud of that. So there you go.
Looking forward to hearing more about that in a second. Esmee,
Yeah.
you are here.
Yes.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Online. Yeah. I've spent my holidays mostly offline.
You detoxed.
Yeah. I
Yes, you
detoxed.
did.
Yeah.
You went into the mountains, did a trekking
Hiking.
holiday?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come
Lovely.
on. So, what was your biggest digital detox takeaway that surprised you? So, not ones that you thought would be good, like more time in the day to read, but like what surprised you about it?
Well, I think if you're hiking offline and you're so used to getting like Apple Maps or Google Maps, but then just,
Yes.
look
Did you go back
around
to paper?
you and no, not paper, just following the signs, yeah, and just go with that. And that was actually, you're far more aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
How many times did you get lost?
Well, my partner is really good in navigation.
Oh, right, okay.
So I didn't
you just
get
charge
lost.
responsibility. So you didn't get that. I love it. There you go.
The biggest issue with the signs is there's a sort of a trail, 2 hours, but that's done by an athletic guy who lived high in the mountains. So it's 4 hours, always double the double hours.
Yeah.
Now, were you going for like place to place with a trail each day, or were you like camped somewhere and doing like loops?
To be honest, we just went from hotel to hotel. And from
so
there
not a tent.
we went.
Not camping.
Oh, it's voluntarily.
Ensuite
It's
bathroom
holiday.
camping.
Why would you even no?
And did you? And you got to say this without crossing any of your fingers or anything. Did you definitely not do digital when you got to the hotel on the evening?
No, we did digital. Yeah, and also I took pictures standing in front of the mountain. Then you do grab your phone.
So what was the detox bit then?
Well, not being online
being
too
social.
much. Yeah, not being on socials. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And did you miss it?
Sometimes, because you want to share. But that's weird, right? Like, why do I want to share where I'm at? And
I have a different relationship with social because I definitely don't do that much sharing
I
social.
don't post. I just watch.
I miss input.
oh, you're just like a.
He's a lurker.
In Dutch we say gluurder. You're like,
That doesn't sound flattering, can I be honest?
well, and it could be in a kimono.
Just in the pronunciation of it doesn't sound right.
It's like, that sounds bad.
You're
A hard G.
You're peeking. Is it peeking? You're just like
I'm just, I get a lot.
secretly watching.
I watch it, I consume it, but I don't like to put stuff out there. I don't know, I don't share.
I don't feel a great urge to do that.
No, I don't
at
feel the
all.
need to share.
But I really do miss like reading myself. Now, my general gist on social is because I'm into like music and films and stuff, and I like to read about those subjects. But these days, though, I realised the other day that I'm hardly seeing any of that.
No, it's changed, hasn't it?
It's
There's a
just
lot of
a lot of
AI-generated
shit.
rubbish out there.
Yeah.
You know what's good? Reddit is becoming the last place you can go for like relatively good content, and there's a great one, AIO, which is Am I Overreacting? And then people tell a story and then they let the community play out, and they're like fantastic stories to read, and then this drama unfolds in the thing, and invariably there are some very humorous responses to people's serious issues, and it's like the internet comes together. But at the end of it, generally the community comes in and advises, and that's a great place to go. Am I overreacting?
But so then still, you're not responding. You're only watching.
The only social platform I respond on is actually Reddit, because somebody asks a question, I go, I know the answer to that.
And reviews. Let's not.
I do reviews. I do reviews on Google, don't I?
So your online persona is actually McDonald's reviewer, Rob.
one McDonald's I review. It just happened to get 5 million views.
You gave it a good review.
I did.
What was the distinguishing factor for that one?
It was just a boring, dull picture.
Yeah.
And it just, I keep getting notifications, 100,000, 200,000, million, 2 million, 3 million. I still get posts about it.
Can you monetize it somehow?
I don't know. Well, Google probably have.
Yeah, that's right.
They've used me. I've been used.
Yeah, you have. You've been exploited, Robert.
I reviewed the restaurant we went to last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Go on.
Smash Burgers.
Yeah,
Gave it 5. It's ace.
Was that it? You didn't put any kind of narrative underneath?
I did. It was slightly off the beaten track.
Yeah.
Surprisingly great atmosphere. The food is outstanding. Service really good.
Did you do a little thumbs up emoji?
No, I didn't do a thumbs up emoji, and I took a picture and sent it up. So it's on Google. You can review it. You can go see it.
I mean, that's terrific.
It's a social good, Dave.
Yeah,
so I'm always for social good, as you know. I'm just giving back to the community. It's quite important.
And so, do you have a tip of a burger?
Oh, the dead hippie burger it's especially good. I don't know why it's called that, but it's like got a white onion thing going on. It's very good.
Oh, very nice. So the exams went well. That's a big relief, isn't it?
Both children through exams.
Congratulations.
A-levels and GCSEs is the 16 and 18-year-old thing that goes on.
Days, aren't they? My first eldest child went through GCSEs this year. Very anxiety driving day, and he did. He was bang on prediction.
Yeah, still
very well.
It's a tense moment, isn't it?
Still very, very tense.
The big one is the did you get into university or not type thing. But you get the email telling you if you're in or out before you get your results. So you get this email that says yes or no, and then you know you've got a good predictor on if you've done your grades or not.
Yes. That synchronization's off.
It is. But the second generation.
But you don't get a phone call.
No.
Sorry, because that was like the personal part that your teacher actually. We still do that. It's your teacher calling.
Yeah, they still do it.
You get an email that says, "Welcome to the University of XYZ," or unfortunately, here's the link for clearing.
In your results, you have to go to the school portal, and then they're up on the school portal at like 8 a.m. And then you can choose to go into the school and get your printed version. Yeah,
that's a social thing, though, isn't it?
The emotional support of your teacher.
You can go into school and speak to them.
But like 100% of kids will have had their grades before going into.
It's a good example of where digital can be quite cold.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
100%.
Yeah.
Out of sequence email arrives.
Having a call from your teacher from the last 5 years saying, "Oh yeah, cheering." That's
the out of sequence bit. I think is the most egregious.
It all starts at 8, so all the systems just fire at 8. And that's it.
But surely it would make just total common sense for the university clearing system to fire at 8:30.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
So at least you got a chance to like absorb your situation before you get good or bad news.
I prefer it the other way around, because actually the whole point of the day is are you into what you want and not. So it's a binary result, right? You're either in or out. It doesn't matter if you got one up, one down, you bang on. And that's really the bit you're interested in. So it just tells you straight away. It's like ripping the plaster off, Dave.
Ripping the plaster off.
That's it. But a second generation nerd off to do computer science and artificial intelligence. So quite proud of that.
God help us.
I'm creating another one.
God help us, Robert. When's he going to be available for podcasting?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, let's wind back on that in 3 years' time.
You're actually seeking somebody who's like me to come on Double Trouble. I'm not.
Oh, when you say as well as or instead of?
Are you going to replace instead of? That's harsh.
I'm just thinking different demographic. Same Robert, different demographic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's kind of an amazing thing to have, like, as you put it, second generation nerd coming on, different demographic view. Gen Z?
So
Gen Z.
instead of a digital twin, we'll have just like
A real sort of
a
younger
genetic twin.
genetic twin.
And by then, there'll be a Rob bot as well.
Rob bot, little Rob.
Little Rob.
Little Rob and little Dave would be replaced.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the whole idea.
Generational podcast.
I think that's the whole idea to have kids, so they are a copy of yourself plus another something extra.
Is that your parenting advice there?
Yeah. Just have kids, no robots.
Is that going to be your new feature on Cloud Realities for season 5? Like Marcel's parenting tips?
I think what a section. I mean, can you imagine? Like,
our listenership would just be through the roof with that.
Through the roof. It's like we've become an Agony Aunt type pod where people could write in with their problems and Marcel solves them for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Kids left already the house for 10 years.
Let's go and workshop that, Marcel.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yes. Right. So let's move on to some of the subject matter for season 5. So big season ahead.
Yeah.
As usual, we have got a number of different threads that are, I think, something we are going to focus on. So as usual, glad to say that between now and Christmas, we'll be doing Microsoft Ignite, which is in San Fran this year. And we'll be kind of as per usual covering AWS reInvent, which is back in the Venetian in Las Vegas. Looking forward to those casino bars, Rob. I can see it in your face. I can see your eyes have gone hollow and you've got like a long stare.
If you calculate the amount of time we've spent in that city, and it's quite a good fun place to go.
Yeah.
But when you've done it, seen it, got the T-shirt several times, and all the secret agent routes through the casinos to get to where you need to go, you've probably been there a little bit too much.
I do feel like I know it quite well.
Yeah, you do though. It's intense as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good. You go, you get the sense, you meet lots of people. There's a social side to it that's very good, and we hear lots of great content. But it's non-stop in it.
Well, so we'll come back to what we think might happen at those with a little bit of trend prediction later on that Rob in particular is feeling very confident about. I think he said, didn't he?
Well, yes,
he goes, David, make sure on the opening session we're going to talk about trends because I am going to hit the nail squarely on the head. So we're looking forward to that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. But he was also referring to a futurist who actually said, well, one thing I'm sure is that only half of what I'm saying is actually going to be true.
Yeah. And I think that's generous for a futurist.
That's generous for me.
There's one thing that we do know for sure. And that was something that I was very surprised when I just joined the team. It's not that we know the guests yet or that we obviously know what's going to be announced on those huge big tech events, but we do know where we're going to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Because all the reservations have been made already to go to the restaurants.
Top-notch producing by Marcel.
That is one of the things about a place like Vegas is once you've been there a few times, you know where to go. And there's a really nice subculture.
Yeah.
Where you can go to great places and they're not like the standard sort of casino hotel stuff.
And you sort of have to find
more
those
soul
places.
to them. Yeah, you have to. There's more soul
find
to
those
them.
places.
It's very good.
Just doing the thing that would be great for a 48-hour stop once in your life gets pretty tiring the 10th time you've been.
Yeah, because there's really high-end restaurants in the casinos, but it's a restaurant in a casino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are, despite Rob being a bit of a downer about it, we're really looking forward to those. The other things that we're doing this season that are excited about, we're going to have between now and Christmas, we're going to have a mini series on AI where we're going to look at it through the lens of a series of C-level guests responding specifically to a series of common questions so we can try and get a track on where we think the state of the AI boom is at the moment. So we're going to try and put a pin in that. And we're going to do that with a colleague of ours called Craig Suckling.
Who's been on the pod before, hasn't he?
Who has been on the pod before. So we're going to looking forward to welcoming Craig back. And Craig is going to join us for each of those episodes as part of the presenting team. And we'll get his perspective too from a career in data and AI. So that's going to be exciting, worth looking forward to. Additional to that, we have got a series of episodes around very complex industries and very complex uses of digital, Rob.
Yes. Absolutely. So when you think about digital transformation being a tough thing to do, and then you go to an industry which might be aerospace and defense, and you think about they build the most complicated things in the world, and they're secure and regulated for good reason, how does that all come together?
Yeah.
So we've got as a series of conversations with people in those industries who are going to talk to the problems that they face and how they're overcoming them, because they understand that cloud is unlocking all the benefit for them as much as anything else, but it's just doubly hard to do it in their environment.
Yeah, high regulation, sometimes mortal threat,
huge security,
very, very difficult. Very, very difficult circumstances to transform experience in and things like that. But interestingly, the parallels from general commercial use are visible there. Yeah. But the implementation of them, very, very much more difficult.
So much harder to do, isn't it? And the whole sovereignty debate comes into it, and you can pile that on. So it's a plus type environment. So yeah, exploring the very deep complexity of that.
Very good. So lots to look forward to. Hopefully there might be the odd one and two outside of that, but I think that'll probably get us a solid run into Christmas. At Christmas, we hope to have a previous guest back to join us in the Christmas episode, our traditional attempt at big thinking for Christmas. So
attempt being the key word for us.
It was in bold and italics.
Yeah.
Well, where we try our best.
We'll give it a go.
We try our best. So we've all had nice, relaxing summers, done some interesting things, got off the grid a bit, been through some exam anxiety, got lost in 3 countries. When he was telling me about it, it reminded me of Chevy Chase and European Vacation.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
And you did actually drive around the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, of course.
You see the bit on European Vacation where you get
can't
stuck
get
on
off the roundabout.
Can't get off the Arc de Triomphe.
5,000 kilometers around the Arc de Triomphe.
Apparently set a new record in France.
Yeah. They're still talking about it on television.
Yeah.
Dave, how was your summer?
Oh, thanks for asking. It was also very good. I went through exam anxiety like Robert did, and thankfully, like Robert, everything went actually very smoothly, but it didn't stop an unbelievably anxious day. And then we had a nice run of things where we'd booked a series of things like over the course of the 12 months running into the summer without really thinking too much about where they're going to land. And we had like about 10 weekends in a row where we had an amazing thing to do. Which
but it takes it out of you though, doesn't it? You want downtime.
Ideally, you want it every other weekend.
Yeah.
And considerably less than 10. So we did Glastonbury at the beginning of the summer. We did Bruce Springsteen concert. We did Formula One, which was great. Silverstone. And we did Oasis, which I think musically probably the story of the summer, would you say?
It's definitely created a lot of noise. But they've been very popular, haven't they? They've come back.
I think it's amazing how zeitgeisty they've ended up being. Because I honestly thought they'd come back. There was a much higher chance they would come back. And it would be, frankly, a fairly basic old men on stage reunion.
But you know why I think it's been so popular, though? Because the 90s, when they were big, like 95 through to the early noughties, that was a period of huge optimism. And Britpop had come out, everybody was going, it was a global sensation, it feels like society was happy at that time. And I think that's people going back to remember the good old days. I feel it is proper good old days, rose-tinted view of the world.
So I think there's an element of that. You'd be silly to deny it. But I think the other thing that's amazing is like the demographic of the crowds that go to those shows. Firstly, it is all genders. So you might leap to the conclusion that it might be a fairly male crowd, but that's not true. Equally, there's a massive age
there's still
diversity there.
Popular, aren't they? You know what that is? Yeah. That's going on Marcel's 5,000-mile journey, and Oasis is playing in the car, and the kids are in the back, and they go, "Oh, I know this music."
Yeah, there's an element of that. I think they're just like it's seeped into them from their parents' obsession. But they were very, very good indeed. I could do a whole other episode on why they were very good, and I was surprised by it. I kind of felt I wasn't that into the idea of a reunion, but I was really quite impressed with it. Very briefly, though, my other thing of the summer, which has been a relatively late summer and recent thing. It's a bit like your get off the grid thing. Tai Chi, Robert.
Oh, don't talk to me about Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
What? Why?
So I fancied doing it for ages because I quite like the idea of like meditation and things like that. And a slow-moving martial art feels more doable than a fast-moving martial art.
Okay. So there was a clear selection criteria going on. So it wasn't going to be kung fu or taekwondo.
I like the idea of kung fu, but that's
quite back to your days in the 70s with like
I like the idea of it. And then once you get good at it, you can walk the earth. But it's like so. I've only just started it, and we've done the first 3 movements of what I think ends up being like about a 5 or 10 minute sequence that is like what kind of you work through a series of movements.
It disturbs me that I might walk in on you one day and you're all zen and doing weird shapes.
Do a bit now for you.
No, you're all right. Sure. I think they'd probably.
If we were filming this, I could take you through it together.
Maybe that should we do, Marcel. The first time we film the pod, if we do end up filming the pod, you need to have Dave doing Tai Chi at the beginning.
Oh, you've got to do it with me though.
No,
it's a communal thing.
No, you're not dragging me into your crazy scheme.
So, enough with all of that.
There was a lot of it.
We're back and feeling rested. Some of us are doing stuff for their mental health and physical well-being, Robert.
Yeah.
You're just stopping eating bread.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, no, I did a bit of a, calorie control thing. It worked very well.
And Ez is detoxed.
Yeah, well, I'm detox, but we've had quite some.
You're detox.
Well, you're like about to get an iPhone 17, so like right back in.
Oh, what?
Back in.
We're not doing the Android Apple thing, are we? Are we going there?
I am so out of pace with what's going on with Android. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, because it's like dramatically better. You're like miles away. You can't see it.
Has it got a plateau, Rob?
No, it hasn't. And quite frankly, that design choice.
No time for it.
What I love is
I can guarantee you they're all going to have plateaus in about 6 months' time.
So we've created a consumer tech device that has a serious design flaw and is awkward. What we're going to do is make a marketing point about it and call it something, and then try and sell it off the back that it's got one.
Some would say that's genius.
Well, some would say that was desperate.
Let's see.
And it's actually a very old word, right? I know plateaus as women's shoes.
Yeah. It generally represents if you plateau, you've stopped getting goods. So it's like literally they're marketing that they've reached their plateau. Yeah.
In transformation, we've now reached the plateau.
Can we say that the organisation might have maybe lost its design way? It's the same thickness as the iPhone 6, which was a quite nice phone. Yeah, so they've just gone back to where they were. It's like a nice cycle occurring.
Thick, thin. Yeah.
Don't we all go through that?
Unfortunately, isn't it like...
It's very true. Thicker.
iPhone 6, I was definitely in a different shape.
All right, so over the summer then, during these periods of rest and recuperation, what I do like about it, especially when we do the show, it's fast and furious when we're making one a week, especially in an industry that is moving as fast as we're putting shows out a lot of the time. So it can be quite hard to just take a moment to reflect. And we did that at the end of season 4, where we tried to bring a few of the threads of that season together. The start of a new season, the breaking of a new dawn.
Exactly.
But also where your head has gone over the summer period.
Yes.
And what are you thinking? So Ez, let's start with you. What's percolating?
I'm actually might be a bit provocative.
It's going to be
bear
grand.
With me.
Got to be grand. I'm expecting something big here.
So alongside hiking, I actually went to deep democracy training.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did that for 2 days, level 1, to be honest. So it's just the first basis.
Are you trying to subvert like a government or something? Is this where this goes?
No.
You're going to topple
the
Netherlands.
So it's about, learning the Lewis method, which is very hands-on, stepping into conversations, noticing the voices that aren't spoken, and practicing how to bring them in. So it really is deep democracy and having very broad carried decisions with the group. So
so it's not democracy as in I voted, it's democracy as in the group working in a democratic
yes.
So I did not know. I'm being educated.
Guess you've never done it, Rob.
No, that's right. Never been inclusive in my life. Never felt the need. Autocracy is the way forward.
Yeah, that it is.
The rule of Rob. The rule of Rob.
So, and for me, it's actually another way of exploring transformation. So not just through systems and technology, but through the way we actually connect as humans. So that's the Lewis method, and it's actually rooted in the idea that reality isn't linear, like Newton actually said, but it's with quantum. And that was interesting because we were talking about quantum, everything is connected, energy. If you touch a certain item at one place on the earth and then across the other side of the world, that same item is actually moving, because then they actually showed that
it's quantum,
everything. Everything is energy.
Is that like a bird flaps its wings in China and then there's a hurricane in Indiana.
No, they're paired. It's the pairing. It's the balance, Dave. It's the balance. It's all together.
Yes.
It's not so dramatic as a hurricane that rips destruction. I love the way you went straight for destruction off this sort of things are connected.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect these things together. I can't quite work it out. Keep going. Go on.
If you think about it, so then evolution, both human and technological, seems to follow that same pattern. So maybe it's not a coincidence that we're making leaps in technology. At the same time, we're learning as humans to sense and work with those invisible fields of connection. So my prediction, which is pretty weird on our podcast, but I think the next big innovation won't be online. It will be offline. We'll be doing more retreats and maybe even more Tai Chi or whatever sense.
Come on.
And then, yes.
I'm
Kumbaya, my lord.
Yeah.
This world does not need you doing Tai Chi, mate. I think you need to move on.
And then presence will beat pixels every time. So it will be about circles, not screens. So the real leap forward will be eye to eye, not screen to screen. That would be my prediction.
So loads
it's a bit
in
deep, that.
I know.
Before we go into it though, let's wind back a little bit to the beginning of your piece there on deep democracy. Just define that a little bit more for me, and how it connects to the quantum point you made.
Yeah. So usually what you see is when a huge decision needs to be made in a group of people, they go for the majority, which is obviously okay. But you do not hear the voices that are not being spoken out loud. So how can you actually enrich that decision of the majority with the knowledge and the intelligence of the unspoken voices? And that's what you actually do. So you connect that. So everything can be there. So it's not either or, it's end.
Yes.
And that's also with the quantum leap in tech. And in transformation as well. Yes, we have people that are very excited and there are people that are anxious. It's not, it's objectifying also so that everything is possible and everything can be there. So that's that. Yeah.
So I think, and this is.
Does that make sense? I'm still wrapping my head around it.
Let me share with you what's been going on in my head and let's see if there is some connective tissue in it. Because I think there might be, but you be the judge. So what I've been thinking about is AI. And I've been responding a lot to what looks like the plateauing of LLM progress. And at one point, depending on how much you understood or not about LLM, what it looked like was that we were on the route to something very profound in terms of the creation of an artificial intelligence of some description. And I think we might have achieved that. But what I don't think we're on the route to do, or maybe anywhere close to, is any type of real consciousness. No. So I think you can create... Are we at a point now where the Turing test could be passed by...
Oh, it's easily passed. Easily past the Turing test.
Orders of magnitude past that, right? Yeah. So therefore, I think you can just declare... we're doing pretty well with this at this point.
It's definitely much better than we would have perceived 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
So there's been that leap in transformer tech that's allowed it to work, the human interface great, but the intelligence or the consciousness is miles off. Whatever that is, that'll be a federation of lots of things coming together.
And it probably won't be designed.
It's not one tech. It's not one tech.
Won't be built.
Designed. It'll be, so chaotic will create it.
Within that slight reframing of it, which is like, let's not worry too much about... kind of the Terminator version of the future, because, something springing up that's got a consciousness that's then going to make a series of decisions. It's probably quite unlikely. It's not unlikely that a bunch of automations might go mad and something might go wrong. That's well within the capability of the current set of technology. But I think a conscious artificial intelligence is probably not going to be here soon. There's a prediction. But what I do think is real, though, is that even within the limitations of the technology that's been developed to today, like September 2025, we have got at least a 10-year adoption lag, both as individuals, humans, organizations, and society, to use this technology as effectively as we possibly can. And that's assuming it doesn't progress from now, which it, of course, will.
I don't think I agree there's an adoption lag. I think the adoption lag, though, will create the failed companies of today and allow the future companies of tomorrow to rise. So it's not they're just not going to be able to tackle it effectively, and somebody's going to shoot straight past them.
Yeah,
slingshot. You're going to see a load of corporate slingshots.
I think that's right. I think also, though, within that adoption period, I think it is also true to say that it will have very significant ramifications, whether it be on organizations or workforces or whatever it might be. And that's here already. It's like, we might not have got to it yet, but even without consciousness and fully functioning AGI, we're in that zone already.
You've strayed into the area of my prediction.
So
you're on the fringe.
Hold it though, because I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I'm not done yet. And I want to try and bring it back around to Ez's, and then we'll go to your one. So I was thinking, well, beyond that, well, is that enough? And that is the move from like information age businesses and the way that we function as individuals and societies to intelligence age businesses and the way we function as individuals and in society. What does that look like for the human? And actually where I got to was relatively close to what you were saying, I think, which is it more interesting to say that if in the information age, what we've effectively created with this first generation of true AI is giant information calculators. So like when the calculator was introduced to basically accelerate maths, what did that do? Well, that allowed people to remove that toil and go on to do greater and greater things. And we've already seen in the early implementations of AI, the ability to remove days and weeks of toil of information aggregation and therefore potentially get on to do greater and greater things. So as humans, is there a potential for a new renaissance?
That's the Star Trek vision, where technology and society came together and we got lots of time to go do the right thing, isn't it? Your positive future.
It is possibly
not
that.
Dystopian.
I was probably thinking less. Yes, exactly.
Not dystopian future,
not
joyous
dystopian.
future. Technology gives us joy.
Technology gives us space
to have joy.
And that space creates the human connection that you were talking
I think so too. Yeah.
There you go, Dave. Can I just say?
I also do
Are we
Tai Chi.
actually agreeing, all three?
We did actually agree. I will say that.
But Rob hasn't gone yet, though.
No, hang on a minute. I was going to say that was a very long way to come back to the connective tissue, but it did actually work. So
Hello, mate. You're welcome.
So I see what you did there.
It's not my first rodeo. Go on.
So this is me saying in and around 2026. So we're not going to get to AGI or whatever. That's still 5-10 years out, whatever that is. Do we actually want a conscious AGI? Don't know. Not sure. Moral point there is
jury's well out on that.
The level of automation and integration has got to such a maturity with what Git is doing, MCP, all that, A2A, that actually we will see the first autonomous organization. Which is
your organization alive yet?
Exactly, David. It's going to come true. So autonomous finance, autonomous HR, autonomous workforce, lights out with somebody, 2 or 3 people over the top, just monitoring what the org's doing. And it is totally automated. Now, probably be a startup. Yep. And they'll do something significant.
The agent first organizations
exactly
already.
Right, yeah. But I reckon the threshold will be 2026. They're actually going to make it work.
Really?
Yeah,
That's like real close, huh?
I think it's that close. So the idea of a whole department defined as a configuration, agents go and do it, and you just watch what the organization's doing is coming. And when that happens, there will be an almighty scramble. And organizations will go, if we don't do it, we're out.
Yeah.
So we have to do it. And it's that scramble point, I think, is going to occur in 2026 when everybody suddenly goes, oh my God, it's actually happening. Cascade effect.
Is that running on a plateau telephone?
They're all going to have iPhones. Yeah. No, but the thing is that when you realize you can build an entire organizational department as a configuration that's agentic and it can interact and it works. You're like, okay, so how many departments do we have actually have? 5, 6? Create those, connect them, bang, you're off.
I absolutely think that's completely viable within the next 12 to 18 months.
People build lights out warehouses. We've got autonomous vehicles coming. The whole thing, it could be physical as well, which is, end to end.
And there was a big organization that fired 8,000 HR people, replaced it by one bot.
Exactly, that's a whole department. So there you go. Yep. So
I'm not going to comment on that.
You do that with the others.
Yep.
and then you can build an organization that's massively more efficient and effective overnight.
To challenge this, so now we also had Copilot, and it's going to do amazing stuff. And we also talked about the adoption lag. Is it going to be like, okay, so big enterprises actually see that autonomous organization, and then they're going to decide, okay, let's do that,
well,
and then.
So this is the thing. They're going to want to do it, but they won't have the people, the capability, or the structure to do it. And that'll cause going back, which is why I was saying you're straying into my point, which is we'll get the corporate slingshot.
I think that's that is right.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I think could get in the way of it is humans traditionally have been quite bad at implementing technology on the whole.
Yeah.
For example, there are I 5 or 8 years ago was banging on about the cloud native enterprise on Cloud Busting, the show that came before this. And I thought the cloud native enterprise, which would all be product centric and, kind of inverted, empowered hierarchies and all of that sort of stuff.
You thought it was going to happen?
I was quite optimistic about it.
The organizations that have done that, organizations do exist and they do operate like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Are very successful.
Yeah. Exactly. So yes, I think the only thing I think that's going to stop large-scale organizations moving are the humans in those large-scale organizations
their own inertia.
Moving fast enough.
It'll be their own inertia that kills it.
I think that's the thing. That's the big thing to watch out for. To the big message in what you're saying.
Yeah. So so when that happens, huge disruption. Like we thought AI and LLMs were going to do that, and it has. But now I think this is going to be actually people now see.
It's the application of it.
It's the application becomes mature enough to do something significant.
But isn't that the promise that we've been saying throughout the years, from an archaeological perspective? It's always, oh no, this time it's really going to change.
The bit that triggered it in my head and why I now predicting this is software development started out by, I'll give you an agent and I'll make you more productive. That was the first application of AI. And very quickly, 6 months after that's been maturing, they're now creating one lead software engineer over 10, the humans out of the loop, and a 2-week sprint becomes 2 days. And the results are coming out. So if I can take something as complicated as software delivery lifecycle and almost completely make it agentic, I can make a finance department do that. I can make an HR department do that. I can make a supply chain do that. Yeah. It's just a reapplication of the concept. They've taken the most complicated part of something creating software, and they've automated it to such a level. You go, that's incredible.
The other thing that occurred to me when I was doing a bit of work over the summer is a notion of democratized automation. So
that's got all the words in that, Dave. Go on, keep going.
Brace yourself.
I like it. I like it.
Are you ready? Hold on to your chair. So this notion, right, of one thing we've been rubbish at, like for the last 30 years of IT, is giant-sized implementation of end-to-end processes, right? Just constantly a buggeration factor the whole time. So there is one application of what you're saying, Rob, that says, okay, let's do big program approach to understanding our end-to-end, whatever it might be, HR processes or kind of financial processes, and going, right, let's now try and work out what automation of that looks like. Or what you could do is you could make available a series of agents or automations that then you in your day-to-day job just then start to use. So over time, you get like an organic automation happening.
Yeah.
And that feels more implementable to me than kind of large scale.
And that it's going to be a federation of lots of little things that come together that's going to make it work. And there'll be a marketplace for your HR department doesn't go out and get a human to do it. They just go to a marketplace and get the agentic in, and you rent it for 2 days or whatever, and it does what you need it to do.
I think that's
it's going to be excited to see which industry and what type of companies will be the first ones doing this.
And I'm going for supply chain.
Are you?
Yeah, I say because you've got
the business value so high.
Yeah, the business value so high. So you've got lights out warehouses already, huge automation in the physical, good shipping. You've got autonomous vehicles. We already see autonomous delivery.
So also the
robots
autonomous
on the
organizations. That's probably
the whole thing is like you interact.
Is your organization alive yet?
Yeah, but you interact and a drone drops your parcel. Now we know the two ends of that are already hugely automated. Your digital interface and the transport. I mean, the bit in the middle, it's like getting very close.
So that gives us a pretty interesting series of dynamics that we're going to explore over the course of the next number of months, and let's face it, probably years.
And if that prediction is wrong and it doesn't happen in 2026, it was Dave who told me all about that, and he told me to say this on the pods because he wasn't sure, So he
what
got
I was
me to
going
do
to say though is last night over dinner when we were talking about, hey, what should we do for the opening episode? Rob's all cyborg this, cyborg that.
Oh, that's
Where's
the other thing.
Cyborg shit,
Well,
Rob?
we're going to become cyborgs. That's it. It's future. We'll leave that for another start.
That's a wholly different show.
But that is our future, I reckon. So we won't be the cold AI. We'll fuse with technology.
See, I prefer the detoxed quantum reality of deep democracy and Tai Chi. I mean, that's the world I want to live in.
It's the world I want to live in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's the world we're going to be living in.
Yes, maybe. Because of tech.
Because of tech. And we've always put tech in our bodies, cochlear implants, pacemakers, sort of augmenting the eyeball.
Don't go into the tech you put in your body, Rob.
And anyway, going back to where we should be going, it's just going to continue. It's coming. Look, it's coming.
Pink?
Oh, my words.
All right, so let's just wrap up the show by doing something a bit different. In the spirit of human centricity and being inspired by things over the summer period, and maybe go a bit broader if you want to, but in recent months, what has been the big creative thing that's inspired you?
For me, we got out to Cape Cod, and a great film I love.
This is a great one.
Jaws.
Absolutely brilliant choice.
And it's the 50 years. So I was keen to go. So I went to Martha's Vineyard and all that where it was shot. And there's a museum there, and there was a big exposition on about Jaws. And it was really cool. They had iconic shots, and they showed you where in the island it was. They had behind the scenes photos. They sort of talked through the story. You learnt what the extras were doing now, and from the islanders and how they responded.
Yeah, because other than the main cast, there were all the islanders, right?
Yeah, they actually involved the islanders in the filming, and they talk about them and their experiences, and there's a load of audio. It's really well set up. Of course, there's the big giant fake shark, but you learn a lot about how the shark did it. And it was really cool. The shark kept breaking down.
Bruce.
Which is why the shark features less in the film than you might have thought, because it was always broken. And these are all facts. It was really nice, and you'll be pleased to know, Dave, I went to the exposition with my Jaws t-shirt on.
No, you didn't.
I applaud you for that.
That's good.
So I could have easily chosen Jaws as well, actually, because I went to the IMAX screening of Jaws 50. I would have gone anyway, but it's even deeper meaning because it's my youngest son's favourite film, and it's been his favourite film as long as I can remember. He's only 14, and he probably saw it, let's say, maybe a bit young. He saw it at about 6 or 7, and he's been obsessed with it ever since. Collects posters, t-shirts for Jaws.
It's classic.
So we generally watch it once a summer, and this year, because of the 50th, we went to see it on IMAX, and it was absolutely really brilliant.
Incredible. It's like the dolly shot, the dolly zoom shot, classic, all that sort of stuff.
I think honestly, a whole series on Jaws probably, but just to pick thing, it's the three-way dynamic on the orca, and the bit that was very difficult to film, like because of the sea levels changed and the weather changed and all that kind of stuff. But the shot precision from Spielberg of that last section of Jaws with that like absolutely iconic three-way kind of dynamic, it's amazing to me, that film.
It is. And it was really nice to see. It's still well remembered, well loved. And it was Spielberg's big break as well. So if it was massively over budget, loads of production issues, it might have not happened, but the studio did actually invest in the art and saw it coming.
And you might be interested if you hadn't seen it already. There's a documentary on Disney Plus called Jaws at 50. It will cover some of the same ground, but it's also got Spielberg today reflecting on Jaws, and one of the stories he tells about how just unbelievably stressful it was as a 27-year-old to hold all of that together and then deliver a work of genius. He says, like he used to have an office on the Universal lot in Hollywood, which is where they have Universal Studios, like the theme park, and they had the Jaws ride there. So as part of the Jaws ride, they brought the orca the ship that they go out on to catch Jaws, they brought the orca over to Universal Studios, and they had it there. And Spielberg, in this documentary, says that he used to go a number of times a week, and he goes, I would sneak onto the, where the ride was, and I'd go and sit in the orca, around the table.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I would cry. And he goes, I did it for a number of years. And it was like his way of getting the
dealing
PTSD
with the stress and the trauma. Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, mad. So yeah, Jaws took substantial effort and sweat to get.
It made
to
it. It was his big break, though, wasn't it? That film went nuts, and that was it. Was
complete work of genius. Absolute work of genius. Ez,
Yeah.
what's your big inspiration?
Well, we actually went to Mind Mystery. It's in the south of the Netherlands, and it's all with optical illusions.
Oh.
So there's even street paint. So they already set out where you should put your cameras or your phone, so you know exactly.
Very cool.
And the buildings are upside down, so if you stand there, it looks like you're going through the air. And it was actually quite simple. It wasn't that tech loaded, but it really.
But it plays with the way we perceve things.
Yeah. Mirrors, and
I like it.
Walking around.
I would like that.
Yeah,
It does sound good.
yeah,
That does sound good.
yeah.
I was talking to a colleague of ours called Pippa. Shout out to Pippa if you're listening. And she was saying that she went to a piece of theatre recently where you go into a shipping container, and there's only two people at any one time going. It's an immersive piece of theatre. You won't be surprised. You put on a VR headset and you become like a baby, but speaking in a different language to you. And you go all the way through to being an old person and then walking down towards a light. She said it was like mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. That was a
You
good
should
one.
have alcohol or other stuff.
I didn't inquire.
But I can imagine from a sensory perspective,
Yeah.
that's quite significant.
Quite a thing, right? Quite a thing. And she said you'd looked out and your hands were old and, you had a walker. So the
It's
theatre...
like the movie with the famous movie when he turns...
Benjamin Button,
Yes.
The Curious Case
Yeah.
of Benjamin
It
Button.
is a bit
Yeah.
like that, like living that through. So yeah, stuff that alters your perceptions and things. Your thing reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Marcel, what's yours?
Yeah, that was going into nature. Climbing. I did in June almost a week climbing with my daughter and son-in-law.
And that's not like a soft play area.
No.
Just so the audience qualifies.
No. Real steep, real challenging. So yeah, that was.
You sent a picture around. It's one of those ones. If you turn down its side, you're like, really.
Yeah.
Really.
So in my younger days, I did also ice climbing and other stuff. And then being back in the mountains, detoxing from IT and just enjoying nature and yeah, amazing. But during that climb, I thought, maybe I need a personal AI butler. So that was really a weird combination.
You went from I'm climbing to I need my robot butler.
Yeah.
No.
This is a brilliant insight into how Marcel's mind actually works. He went from climbing to robot butler in an instant.
While standing
Like less than 30 seconds
hundreds and hundreds
in
meters
the
high.
telling.
But it's more about, so if I do more AI butler planning, then I have more time to do the fun stuff.
Like, that's it. That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Technology gives you space.
Yeah, so planning stuff and maybe your financials, maybe planning trips and just use more a sort of AI butler who really knows me and my family and so yeah, that's a weird combination, but that really
sums up Marcel.
There you go. So come on then, Dave. What was your big experience?
I'll go with a lot of the gigs and things that I talked about earlier this year were quite big in my summer. So music played a big part in my summer. It typically does anyway. I'm quite into it. So I'm going to go with the Springsteen's Tracks 2 box set that came out at the beginning of the summer.
Was that a horrendous amount of tracks?
This is like, I think it might be unprecedented. So
80? Just about 80, right?
he had 80 odd tracks on it.
Yeah.
Now, the amazing thing about it is like the tracks span from like about 1983 through to about, in the main, there's one that's later, but in the main through to about 2000. So that sort of period of time, whatever that is, 15, 18 years, something like that. with the bulk of it from the 90s. And he said that during COVID, he had the time to sort of go back to all of this. So just
edit it through.
What would be a ton of, And he sequenced it all into 7 standalone albums. So it's not just like he's a data dump of like a ton of stuff that I did. It's like 7 brand new, unreleased albums released at one time in a box set.
I was hoping you were going to say you discovered that Jump by Van Halen was the greatest song, but you've gone for Springsteen's masterpiece. I was hoping there was a little bit of me inside. He's going to say Jump. He's going to say Jump. He's going to say Jump.
Still have time for that, Rob.
One day you'll realise it's a happy song.
Yes. Well, on that note, we are back for season 5. Stick with us.
If you would like to discuss any of the issues on this week's show and how they might impact you and your business, please get in touch with us at cloudrealities@capgemini.com. We're all on LinkedIn and on Substack, so we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to connect and DM if you have any questions for the show to tackle. And of course, please rate and subscribe to our podcast. It really helps us improve the show. A huge thanks to our sound and editing wizards Ben and Louie, our producer Marcel, and of course to all our listeners. See you in another reality next week.